it's me, CheesyPaninie, and today we're making a 3D pond in Terraria. First things first, get yourself a block to form the shape of the pond. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it's actually better if it's irregular so it looks more natural. I'm using a dirt block here, but feel free to use whichever one you like. You'd want to do just the top part, then use echo blocks at the bottom part of the circle. Next, fill the whole area with water. After that, place some walls around your pond. Make sure that the walls overlap with the area with water. What's nice about water in Terraria is that it's not see-through. You don't need to put a lot of walls underneath it to cover the background. You can just fill in the edges with a variety of walls to give it some depth. One thing I like to do when building ponds or bodies of water is to make the walls close to the edge of the water darker than the walls away from it. I also like to scatter the dark blocks in a checkerboard or a random pattern so that it doesn't look so rigid and gives off the illusion of a gradient. In pixel art, this technique is called dithering. In this video, I'm using grass walls with living leaf walls. Once you're happy with the shape of your pond, you can then get experimental with the blocks and walls that you place. Terraria's block swapping feature makes it easy to replace blocks you've already placed by just putting the new block on top of the old block. This method also works with walls. In this video, I'm using dirt blocks with grass along with lesion blocks and flesh blocks painted green. You could also make your forest ground a little more interesting by putting some brown patches of dirt walls and not making it all completely green. A good way to make the water in the pond feel a little more lively is to put some water lines or air pockets above it. You need to place at least one block on the same level as another block before using a sponge in order to create the effect, and make sure that the water doesn't rise too much to the point that the line disappears. This effect won't work if you actuate the block. If you replace it with an echo block, you do hide the block, but you get this really awkward square patch, so it's a lot better to just use a visible block and just hammer it to make it look a little more subtle. They could look like small pebbles or leaves that just fell off a tree. You could also extend the land or put islands on it to make the waterline effect while also making your pond a lot more detailed. To keep the pond from being too dark, it's a good idea to use your hammer to leave holes in between the walls to make the light seep in. Alternatively, you could put gem spark walls behind the blocks. I like painting these wall shadows so that even if a portion of the walls get exposed, it's not too obvious. Next is to add some plants and grass all over the ground. You could place some dirt blocks and let them grow grass, or put some strange plants on it. Alternatively, you could also put strange plants on echo blocks so that it blends with the ground. If you use the PC version of the game, you could go into T-Edit and place the sprites of grass, trees, and plants on it manually. It's also a good idea to put a hole behind the base of the plant so that it would sway when it's windy. However, it can get a little tricky if you place the plants on top of nothing, or if you place it in a very tight place, because sometimes the sprites won't appear. You also need to be careful about accidentally destroying them with your tools when you're close to them, so these things are ideally placed last. Don't like the blue color of the pond? That can easily be fixed by using water fountains, which can imitate the color of water of different biomes, as well as the red blood color of the water during blood moon. But if you use that, you'd want to either incorporate the water fountain into your build or hide it underneath blocks. For some last minute details, you can copy the shape of the land or items above the water so it would look like it was being reflected on the water below. As for the sharp edges of the water by the echo blocks, you can hammer some of the blocks into half blocks to make it less jarring and more natural. However, when you hammer them, you must make sure that there is another block below it, because if not, you will just end up having a tiny waterfall underneath it. And that's it! I hope this video gave you some ideas and inspired you to build something in Terraria. Are there any small builds or props you'd like to learn how to make? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to like and subscribe. But for now, I'm just gonna go do my thing, and you guys do your thing, and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy, stay cheesy.